Welcome back to another episode of Expat Rebel. Today I'm going to share with you spam calls in Mexico. Hey, what I've been doing lately. I haven't been on in a while, so I am back and let's get started. I created this podcast and video series because I believe that being an expat is just not for everyone. And that there is super unrealistic. So I'm delivering news, motivation, and advice that will make you an excellent expat and enjoy their life. And because I know you're busy, I'll try to take up too much of your time. If you want to become an expat soon, then go grab our Expat Rebel guide to becoming an expat in 30 days over at expatrebel.com/30. If you love what we're doing, please support us over at expatrebel.com/join. We're a community and we'd have you join us. Okay, let's start today's episode. I couldn't resist sharing a glimpse of the sheer paradise that I live in and I'm fortunate to call home here in Mexico. I recently went on a leisurely beach walk right in front of my very nice beach home, the waves lapping the shores as I strolled along golden sands. Right before an epic windstorm that created a lot of damage, and now we have a ton of seaweed on the beach. It happens. This is not a resort. It's actual real people live and with tons of beach homes, a few condo buildings here and there. And we just had a really horrific windstorm, the worst that I've had in living here in this house. We bought a house about 2.5 years ago or so. So it was pretty spectacular. But as I was writing this right before the storm, I was having a good time, enjoying the view of the Gulf of Mexico, writing a poem to my wife. I'm getting more into writing as I'm living here. And just sitting next to my private pool in a warm Mexican sun in the middle of the summer, in shorts, along with my 2 cats, while is off writing herself. It's just moments like these make this really extraordinary and really feel happy. I have a lot. Now, I'm sharing this not to brag or anything, because there's lots of expats doing this. And it's a world where there's just a lot less stress. It takes a backseat. It does, a lot of chaos going on in the world is unfortunate. It does affect some of my family and kids, but it affects them more than us. And I find that there's a lot of freedom living like this. And so I can pursue passions of mine, like writing or scanning old slides into JPEGs. I've been having a lot of fun with that lately. So I got a little scanner to scan them. And I was a photographer, amateur photographer, a couple of showings at a gallery once and sold a couple of photos, but nothing major. And so I had a lot of slides from the 70s and 80s and 90s before it went digital. So I'm having fun reliving some moments in Alaska. I grew up in Alaska and seeing our planes and everything has been fun. And as I was writing this, it was a delightful 30 degrees Celsius. Actually, today is only to get 25 Celsius. And it makes it an ideal day to be outdoors. It's great to be outdoors a lot. And the neighborhood is coming alive because we just had a holiday here in Mexico, a Constitution Day, just a few days ago. And of course, everybody comes out to the beach. Not everybody lives here full time and just enjoys getting in the Gulf in the middle of winter and bit of a cold plunge, but not too bad. I saw a guy even going out and kayaking, and windsurfing, kite surfing, actually. So I got some photos. If you're interested in things like that, go over to expatrebel.com and get on the newsletter. I share a lot over there. Now, let's get on to some expat news. The ultimate expat havens list. Someone did a survey of the top expat places based on what expats say as being the best country. And that can be pricing, that could be health, availability, and things like that. Of course, Mexico is, again, number one. Has been for a long time, and it continues to be just because it's convenient to the US and Canada. Even Western European expats come here, even if it's only for part time in the winter and then go back home. A lot of Canadians do that. This area, Yucatan, Mexico, is mostly Canadians. Very many Americans, and of course, a bunch of other people from the UK and elsewhere. So Mexico continues to be number one, followed by Spain, of course. Hear a lot about Spain, Panama. I've never been to Spain, but I have been to Panama. And actually, that was my first pick. Mexico, Panama's great. Followed by Malaysia, number 4. Never been there, but hear a lot of really good stuff. A lot of people really like Malaysia. 5, Taiwan. I was a little surprised by that. I've had friends from Taiwan and really would love to go visit, but never thought about it as an expat location. Apparently, a lot of people like Thailand is number 6, of course. And in fact, that was my original plan when I left the U.S. 6 or 7 years ago, I guess at this point, is I wanted to go to Thailand and then go around the world, but I wanted to start in Thailand. I wanted somewhere really foreign, and I'm just attracted to Thailand a lot. And so it's nice to see that. Number 7 was Costa Rica. Of course, it's going down on the list a bit because it's becoming very pricey. It's expensive. It's like California prices. And so if you're going to live overseas, why don't you go live somewhere it's a little bit less expensive? Otherwise, we'd all be moving to Monaco or something. And number 8 is Philippines. Philippines, most of my team for my companies that I've had in the past have all been based out of Manila. And so I have a great deal of fondness for Filipinos because I've worked with quite a few of them over the years, last 20 or something years, actually. And as an expat place, there's some places up in the hills and everything where it's cooler that are actually quite nice. Some of them actually used to be U.S. American bases, and now they're summer vacation spots, but there's people that live there year round because it's really pleasant. And there's a lot in the Philippines, it's a bunch of islands. It's a lot of islands. And so there's a lot of places to go. And number 9 is Bahrain, probably because of the taxes being nothing and being very hip and modern and everything, even religious wise, might freak some people out. What you do at home is to you, and they just some decorum you got to do when you're out, everything, which here is not too bad. Because a lot of people go there because you can have extremely high lifestyle still keeping your expenses down. And then number 10 is Portugal. Portugal used to be much higher on the list. They started getting pricey. In fact, I think the new expat place is Greece. The people that were planning to go to Portugal are now going to Greece because it's a little bit more inexpensive. And of course, it's Greece. It's really nice for fans of Greece. I'm going, I think, later this year. My love has, and she's been there a number of times, and she just loves Greece. They show Greece off to me. Oh, that is what's happening. That's the top 10. Where you go, the links to all this are in the newsletter. You can now go get over at rebel.com. Next is the spam calls in Mexico. They started having spam calls, text messages, spam texts, someone after the started. Didn't get anything before that whatsoever. It was fantastic. Didn't know they even happened here, but it started to, and then it started getting a lot. I don't think it's as bad as the U.S., but like the U.S., Mexico has also had a do not call list. One of the Mexican government agencies maintains it. You can go over to this and this letter, and you can put your Mexican phone number in it to reduce those. And we started getting calls and text messages from Nigeria, even Mexico, selling all numbers of stuff that we don't want. And so it became an issue. So if you have a Mexican phone number, go grab that and register your number. Hopefully that will help. I just did it, so I haven't have any feedback beyond that, but hopefully it'll cut So that's it for today's episode. Thank you once again for being part of Expat Rebel. This would just not be possible without all of you. We're building a positive expat community and we're here to support you. If you enjoyed the podcast, please leave a review. We'll love hearing from you. And if you'd like a weekly newsletter to go along with all this, and pictures and things like that, go over to expatrebel.com/newsletter. I talk about more in the newsletter. That usually comes out on Saturdays. Listen, try. Also check out how to become an expat in about 30 days over at expatrebel.com. It shares how I went from an idea moving to a foreign country to actually moving 30 days later, and how you can save about $3,000 on mistakes that I made within the very first month. See you guys next time.